Hello everybody, today we are going to be checking out two machines from OutIn. We've got the OutIn grinder, which is the OutIn Fino, and we have the OutIn Nano, which is their portable espresso machine. Now, both are battery powered with USB Type-C. I have charged them both, so hopefully we will have enough battery for the whole of this recording. Okay, so let's start with the Fino, which is the grinder. Now, this is really quite a cool battery hand grinder. Well, no, let's say it's got the technology of a hand grinder, but it's powered by a USB Type-C battery. Now, there are some things on this which are particularly fun and cool. First of all is the grind settings is at the top here, this click point here. I'm doing espresso, so I'm right down at 1.3. On the grinding ring. There are 30 positions, so each subsection has 3, it goes up to 10. Now, if I'm completely honest, it's not enough for me. It's not enough particularly for the coffee that I put in here. I would have liked to have an extra bit between each of them, but it's perfectly serviceable for most people, and it's the idea of a hand grinder or the idea of a portable electric grinder like this is that it matches for most types of uses. And when I say most types of uses, it's quite cool. With the top of it is hermetically sealed. There's a rubber ring here and you twist it to open, which is very, very cool. I do like that little design thing going on here. With stainless steel on the top, and it's got all of the, written around the top, it's got all of the different grind sizes that are adapted for it. And this is actually quite correct. I've done an extraction with espresso, and I've done an extraction with pour over on this, and it fits pretty much what I'd expect. The espresso, like I said, there's only like 6 positions which they say are espresso. I would have preferred more, but that's just me because I'm annoying. Other cool little details is the capture cup. So whilst I've got the capture cap off where I put my beans, which I weighed out earlier, you can see the bottom of the grinder with the burr. So the burr is stainless steel, which has cut, which is made for espresso. Well, it's a 7 palm cut on the conical burrs. It's a 38mm stainless steel conical burr, which is very common for hand grinder type things. It's quite good looking. It's very well held on its axis because the axis is perfectly well held, and it's the advantage of these battery driven grinders is that the axis is perfectly well held for that conical burr. Now, like I said, you dose through the top, which is very cool. And the thing which possibly is the bit that I like most about this grinder is the catching cup. And now you're going to say, Phil, you're so geeky. You are wondering about a capture cup, and this is possibly the best capture cup. The best capture cup I have seen on a portable hand grinder, electric hand grinder type of thing. It's because it's curved at the bottom, so the grounds aren't going to go into a corner, and that's really clever. And it's stainless steel as well, so there's no problems with it like that. Let me just close it up, and because it's a battery-powered hand grinder, turn it on with a double click, and it'll grind. Now, like I said, it's USB Type-C. It is grinding currently 18 grams, which is my recipe. And because we are particularly professional, we are now going to speed up time a little bit because it is a hand grinder running by battery. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we will mark down the time it has taken to grind my 18 grams of medium roast at position 2 at the bottom of the screen, just here. Like you can do a swan. I'm walking up a mountain. Bunny rabbit, yeah, and help, I'm in a box. I'm walking down some stairs. I'm on a lift. Now, it is almost finished. There's a few different things on the grinder which I think are quite cool. It comes with this very, very cool kind of like felt travel case, which is brilliant because it is made, the exterior is made out of steel, painted steel. It comes with a very, very cool brush blower type thing where you can take the brush off and just have the blower. And because it's clever, it stops on its own when there are no more beans, which is very, very cool as well. So, coming back to this wonderful thing, like most hand grinders, it does have a slight static against the burrs problem. So pro tip is shake it a little bit before you unscrew the dosing cup, and that way you will have taken some of the ground off the top. You can still use the brush if you want to get past it. There we go. Now, it's really hard to tell with a camera. The ground is actually really quite fine in there, which is very cool. And the other thing that's very cool about this grinder, and the accessory which I think is perfect for OutIn to do, is this dosing funnel. Now this dosing funnel screws onto the top, so you can, if you don't want to carry the roughly about 750 grams of grinder in your bag with you, you can pre-grind and use the cup thing, which is great. Kind of defeats the object of having a portable grinder if you're leaving your portable grinder at home. Now the dosing cup is very clever because it has two openings, the large opening and, because it's a funnel, the small opening as well. And the small opening fits the pre-ground section for the OutIn, which is very, very clever. I'm not going to be using it though, so I will just quickly put that away, put the top back on so we don't get too much hectic. Leave that to the side and now talk about the OutIn Nano itself, which is a portable espresso maker. So, portable espresso maker, it comes in this very cool hand case, and inside this very cool hand case, it comes, fits perfectly well in there with it. USB plug for charging, USB Type-C again, probably like your phone, be faster to charge it with your phone charger. It comes with an adapter for Nespresso type pods, which is this one here. I am not using it. It also comes with this adapter here, which is for the pre-ground coffee, which again I am not using because I am using the Nano Basket Plus, which is a basket which is able to take 16 to 18 grams of coffee, which is much more my style than the standard 8 gram, which you can fit in here. Now, to show you the filters are quite cleverly made. Stainless steel bottom, stainless steel shower head top. It fits inside its little chamber onto the top there. Hot water goes through it, you have an espresso. Well done. It's actually slightly pressurized. If you've ever watched any of our videos and you follow what is a pressurized and non-pressurized filter, that's all really quite clever. The Nespresso capsule is a standard Nespresso capsule holder, 3 pins at the bottom to extract through. They even nicely have a little slots in the carry case where you can fit 4 little capsules in there, which I think is quite cool. It's just a fun little addition because say what you want about Nespresso capsules, it is quite handy for these types of machines to run off a capsule because it's easier to manage the waste of a capsule, easier to redose, because with the grinder and everything, it is a little bit difficult to manage your dose each time, as I will now show you. So I have my brown coffee in here. I have a dosing funnel which is delivered with my Plus basket, and I can dose into the funnel. So do a little bit of shaky to get all of the grounds in there. And with my Plus basket as well, I have a stainless steel tamper. Oh, with the standard basket, you get a little plastic tamper as well, which is very cool. Tamp through, spin to get rid, and there you go. My basket is with a top on it, ready. And I just have to screw it back on. Base of the machine, and you can use the cup. I'm going to use the cup for the moment, just that it's on something solid, whilst I do the rest of my prep. Now, the machine itself, like I said, with the standard filter is for 8 grams of coffee. I am using 18. Now, the reservoir at the top, which as you can see is a stainless steel reservoir, is very cool because it will actually heat the water for you itself. Now, on my recipe, because my grounds are going to drink a bit of the water, I am between the 50 ml and the 70 ml mark. I'll put my top on and I will press and hold down for 2 seconds. It'll beep at me and it is starting to heat the water itself, because that's what's cool about the OutIn Nano is that it will heat the water for you. And so it'll bring that up to realistically about 92 degrees. If I'm honest with you, it's not quite as hot as I would have liked it for the coffee that I am using today, which means that I should be using a little bit of darker roast so I can have more balance in my coffee. I'm currently using the Lugar blend, the Pacific blend, which if it's not very hot water, then it comes a little bit acidic, which is fine. Carol, who's behind the camera, loves it when the coffee's a little bit acidic. I prefer it when it's a little bit more balanced, so a darker roast would probably have been better for this machine. It's not to say the coffee is not nice, it's great, and it's really quite clever how it's extracting and so on like that. And it's cool that it's doing this with cold water. But what's extra cool is it can do it with hot water as well. So you can actually, if you have a kettle somewhere or if you're taking a thermos of hot water with you, you can actually put hot water in the top and and just push that straight through the coffee with the pump that's built into the machine, which is very clever that you can do both. And I like that a lot. What is less likable is, and you can see how it's heating up now, it's almost ready. What is less likable is the number of extractions you can get on a full battery. Now, and this is kind of where the problems is with this type of machine. And it's the same for all of them, for OutIn, for other brands that are doing these portable espresso machines as well. And that is the number of extractions you can have on a full charge. And with my long dose here, I could probably get about 3 on a full charge. If I was using preheated water, then I'd be closer to a 6 to 8 area, which is very cool. And I don't know whether you can hear it through the microphone. You can start to hear the water starting to boil, which means that the pump will switch on in a second. The pump will switch on automatically, which means that it would deliver into the cup, which is part of the machine. I'm going to deliver it into my standard espresso cup on the side in front here, so you can actually see the extraction happen. Takes a little bit of time to heat up, but not too long if you're actually thinking about what the machine is doing, because it is, with battery power, heating up water which was at about 16 degrees. It was heating water from about 16 degrees up to my 90 odd for my extraction. And then it's pushing it through. And that's quite impressive. The pump isn't too loud. It's not silent, but it's not too loud. So it's not, you can use it on the train. It's not going to be too loud for the people in the train. Obviously you can use it on a plane. There's absolutely no problem with that. And my extraction is just about good there. You can press to stop. And then, like I said earlier, the double press is how you get it to push through water without heating. So a quick double press. And that'll push through the last of the water that I had in there. And that sounds like it's finished. Up. And my extraction, which, let's be honest, that looks really, really good. The crema is definitely there. And taste-wise, like I said, it's a touch too acidic because it's not quite as hot as this coffee needs. But if I was using a darker roast, I wouldn't have that problem at all because it is drinkable immediately. It is hot to drink, and it's hotter than realistically I would have been served in most places. Don't know how to manage hot cups, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a really good extraction. It's a really good extraction from a machine which is totally portable. And this is where we're getting to. It's perfectly doing what it's doing for something that is portable. If you're going into this expecting the same results as an espresso machine which you would be keeping at home, you probably won't think it's making a perfect cup of coffee. But for the truckers out there amongst you, from the delivery drivers, from ambulance guys who are spending the majority of their night in a leeway somewhere waiting for that call and want to be able to have a nice cup of fresh ground, fresh brewed coffee, this is excellent. It does exactly what it needs to. And the coffee it makes is great. So, really well done, OutIn. I can only recommend that you get the Plus basket because the extractions are a much higher quality with the higher basket throw in those machines. The grinder is an excellent grinder. It's perfectly matched to the OutIn. You can charge both of them off a USB Type-C cable, which you've probably all got at home. And it's really quite a nice piece of kit. So well done, OutIn. I will finish my espresso and I will say see you next time and have a nice coffee.